Welcome back to the stream. It is Wednesday night. We are here at the Coast to Coast Racing League CoolRay Hometown Heroes. Tonight we got a great show. We got 4 races going on. We'll start off the night with the 305 Sprint cars, followed by the 360 Sprint cars. 358 Modifieds, Big Block Mods will be next. Then the Veterans will close out our Hometown Heroes night, running the 360 Sprint cars. Welcome to the show. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. As always, at Got Your Six Racing Network, we are racing for awareness of veterans issues. If you know a veteran out there you haven't heard from them in a while, reach out. Let them know you care about them. 22 veterans a day take their own life, which is 22 too many. So we're trying to do our small part, bring awareness to those issues that our veterans are facing. We will play promos throughout the night from various organizations doing great things for veterans. But meanwhile, we have advanced to qualifying. We will jump in right along with the 5 car of Donovan Ross out on track. Again, these are 305 Sprint cars brought to you by Ace Designs tonight. The 5 car of Donovan Ross coming off a turn 4. Hugging that bottom side. Brandon Dittmer in the 83 up to P1. The 39 car of Patrick Spangler's out on the track. Let's see how Patrick can do as the times are starting to fly in. 5:18 was quickest in practice. He has also got your quick time, the 5:18. Joseph Grandy at the top of the board. 1396 for the 5:18, followed by Pat Boyce. Still have a group of cars out on the track. Gary Taylor is with us. Greg Boydell in the 014, just wrapping up second quick. That'll be a 1396 for the 014. Randy Shreves wrapping up in the 56 machine. 5th quick with a 1399. Blake Chapman now at the top of the board. The 20 machine, Krite Sim Racing driver, currently ran a 1393. He will shut it down with your quick time. Chapman, Boydell, Grandy, Boyce, Shreves are your top 5. Got a couple of cars left out on the track. 074 of Peter Brees, currently 18th quick in the 074. Timed in with a 14:14. Looks like Peter will be the last car to take time here. Everyone else has timed in. The 074 currently 18th quick. Meanwhile, back up front, the 20 car of Blake Chapman with your quick time with a 1393. As qualifying winds down, we'll have various views tonight as we go through the night. Peter Brees getting some extra laps here. In that 074 car, that is qualifying. We're getting ready to go heat racing. Tyler Wilson on the inside of row number 1. Patrick Spangler to his outside. Pat Boyce in row number 2, followed by Blake Chapman in 3. Jeff Barker, Gary Taylor in row number 3. Roger Craig, the Salty Dog Racing Team, will round out your field of 7 drivers. Looks like the field called for 7. We got all 7. 6 laps, top 4 were inverted from qualifying, so your quick time qualifier for the night, Blake Chapman in that 20 machine, will roll off in P4. Top 4 heading to the feature. Again, Tyler Wilson in the 042 on the front row with the 39 car of Patrick Spangler to his outside. Pace truck is off, leaving the field to Tyler Wilson in that 042 as they are coming off a turn 4. Or coming into turn 3, my apologies. Now Tyler rounds turn 4, looking for the green flag, 6 laps to get it done. Top 4 heading to the feature. Green flag is out. We are underway. Tyler Wilson dives down low. 39 car of Spangler up high. 042 did not have enough room to slide up and get in front of the 39. Spangler way on the high side. Don't look now. The 20 car, your quick time qualifier. Crite Sims Racing, Blake Chapman moving up side by side with the 042. Patrick Spangler in the 39 car gets out in front. Go on board with the 20 car. He's working that middle lane. Looks like the high side is still the place to be as Wilson got a good run off the high side. Jeff Barker in the 513 Marine Machine is the final car in a transfer position, followed by the 747 of Roger Craig. Working lap 5 of 6. Up front, Spangler setting sail. Almost a second gap between himself and Will. Lap car down low. 1 lap to go. Spangler checks up for the lap car. Tyler Wilson takes advantage of the 042. He makes the pass. Spangler's going to try to return the favor. Slide job coming. It's going to be Chapman at the line. Chapman, Spangler, Wilson, Barker are your top 4. Great battle up front. Jamie McCarron, Jeff Falero in the front row, Randy Shreves, Greg Boydell in row number 2, Neil Strausser, Joseph Canellis in row number 3, Gary Sigelkow rounds out your field of 7 drivers. Again, they do invert the top 4, so that 014 car, driver out of Canada, Greg Boydell with your quick time on the outside of row number 2. Looking at this race, you can win from almost anywhere, would not be a surprise. The field is stacked. Up front, Australian driver Jamie McCarron will bring us to the green flag. 6 laps to get it done. Top 4 heading to the feature. Pace truck is off. McCarron looking for the green flag with Jeff Falero to his outside, driver out of Canada. Coming off a turn 4. Green flag is out. We are underway. McCarron down low. Falero on the high side. Looks like the high side is working early here. McCarron able to hold his own on that bottom side. Now McCarron wants the high side. Falero takes the lead in the 200 machine, followed by McCarron in P2, Randy Shreves, Greg Boydell in the 1 car, Joe Canellis. He wants that 4th and final transfer position. We get nose to tail. Jeff Falero up front, able to pull away from the field, currently has less than a half-second gap. Jamie McCarron in the 211 car on his tail tank. We got nose to tail in a big hurry in heat number 2. White flag is out. Jeff Valero at the front of the field, up 1. McCarron falls back to P2. 2 more corners to navigate for the 200 machine. Looks like the battle's going to be for 3rd. Valero, McCarron, Shreves, Boydell are your top 4. Brandon Dittmer, Donovan Ross on the front row of heat number 3. Brian Moore Sr., Joseph Grandy in row number 2. Alex Parmalu, Peter Brees in row number 3. Steven Bixler rounds out your field of 7 drivers. Again, we have 7 laps. Or 6 laps, my apologies. Joseph Grandy was fastest in practice, so we'll see if that carries over to this 3rd heat. Again, they got 6 laps to get it done. Initial start is on the green flag. Top 4 heading to the feature. Good looking 83 car. It will be the 83 of Brandon Dittmer that brings us to the green flag. Pace truck is off. Field is tightening up, getting ready for 6 laps. As the 83 comes off of turn number 4, looking for the green flag. Green flag is out. We are underway. Great start on that outside by Donovan Ross. 83 cars able to, we're going to go 3 wide. Well, we thought about it. Brandon Dittmer to the lead. It is anybody's guess after that. Now Joseph Grandy moves up 2. Grandy working the bottom side, able to get by the 5 of Donovan Ross. Grandy trying to slide up and get on that outside row. Brian Moore Sr., he slips back to P4. Alex Parmalu in that 397. Gets into the back of the 558. Brandon Dittmer at the point. Second lead over 518 of Joseph Grandy. Donovan Ross in P3. Brian Moore Sr. holding down that 4th and final transfer position. 397 of Alex Parmalu wants that 4th and final transfer position. Working lap 5 of 6. Up front, coming off a turn 4, it is the 83 of Brandon Dittmer. We are spread out, so Dittmer has 2 more corners to navigate. He gets through 4 just fine. Dittmer, Grandy, Ross, Moore Sr. are your top 4. Heading straight to the feature. We have 3 minutes of warm-up, so we will be right back.
Our biggest thing is getting the word out, awareness of Mission 22, the struggle as it is to fight PTSD and suicide. My name is Corey Decker. I'm the state representative for Mission 22. This year's been great. We got a bunch of great guys that have gotten together and decided to create this rally. The word's getting out, and it's turning into quite an event where we can actually help a lot of veterans. It's a great event, but You really have to go and see it for yourself, and it's really one of those things that's an experience. Just going that weekend, we've seen how it changes people.
When people hear a Valhalla project, the first thing they might think of is our shirts. But what most people don't know is that our plaques came first and the t-shirts came second. What some people might not know is that the same shirts that we make day in and day out allowed us to do unbelievable things for unbelievable people. Whether it's donating our proceeds to reduce veteran suicide or gifting handcrafted memorial plaques to the families of fallen heroes, these t-shirts simply stand for honor and freedom. Two words that wouldn't exist without our heroes. This makes Valhalla Project a place where fallen heroes truly live on forever.
Welcome back. We're getting ready to go feature racing. We are following along with your warm-up quick time driver. That's the 558 of Brian Moore Sr. Has the checkered flag waves over warm-ups. Blake Chapman, Jeff Falero on row number 1. Brandon Dipper, Patrick Spengler in row number 2. Jamie McCarron, Joseph Grandy in 3. Tyler Wilson, Randy Shreves in 4. Donovan Ross, Jeff Barker in row number 5. Greg Boydell, Brian Moore Sr. in 6. Roger Craig, Joe Canellis in row number 7. Alex Parmalu, Pat Boyce in row number 8. Neil Strausser, Peter DeBreese in row number 9. Gary Taylor, Gary Sigelkow in row number 10. And Stephen Bixler will start at the tail end of the field. Your 21st and final driver. 30 laps to get it done. These are fixed 305 sprint cars brought to you by Ace Designs. This is Hometown CoolRay, Hometown Heroes on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Again, thank you everybody for tuning in. Lucas Oil Speedway has been a big hit, I think, in my personal opinion, for iRacing. Very racy track. Race truck rolls off. The initial start is on green. The youngster from Krite Sim Racing, Blake Chapman, will take us to the green flag with that 200 of Falero to his outside. Coming off of turn 4, green flag is out. We are underway. Chapman is going to try the bottom side. Brandon Dittmer looks like he thought about trying even lower than what the 20 is. Blake Chapman is side by side. We are 2 by 2, the front 6. Chapman clears the 200, opens up the top for him. He decides to stay down low. Falero in P2. Brandon Dittmer in the 83 in P3. Patrick Spengler on the top side. Jamie McCarron below him in that 211 car. Now Joseph Grandy in the 518 is going to try to cross over. We're going 3 wide. Yikes, they made it through. Patrick Spengler in the 39 car. He's diving down low. We've seen him make a couple moves. trying to get underneath the 200 of Jeff Valero. Blake Chapman setting sail, currently has about a 1 second lead. We got a group of cars back here, the 014 of Greg Boydell, driver out of Canada, battling it out with Donovan Ross, Roger Craig back there, Jamie McCarron, and Joseph Grandy in front of Boydell. As we get our first caution, looks like Steve Bixler may have been involved. We will take a quick look. '75 car Bixler. The 41 car looked like he may have got a little bit loose up high. Comes down and nowhere for Bixler to go. The Salty Dog 75 heading to pit road. Krite Sim Racing's Blake Chapman still at the front of the field. 200 car of Jeff Valero. Top four are running how they started. Chapman, Valero, Dittmer, Spangler are your top four. Tyler Wilson in that 042 car has moved up 2 positions from his start, as has Randy Shreves, the 56 car behind him. Green flag is back out. We are underway. Restarts are on the leader. Great start by Chapman. Looks like that bottom line, everybody down low. I see somebody back there. Looks like Roger Craig was the first car trying that high side. We got contact. Boydell and McCarron. No caution. Valero now, Patrick Spengler and Brandon Dittmer battling it out. Go on board with Brandon Dittmer in the 83 machine. Working right down. Hear him working the throttle inside that 83 machine. He was able to make the pass on Patrick Spengler. 042 of Tyler Wilson isn't done. He tries to get underneath Spengler. There is a wad of cars. McCarron, Brees, Joe Canellis back here. Neil Strausser in the 68 battling it out with the captain, Gary Taylor, in that 34 machine. Pat Boyce battling it out with the 513 Marine machine. That's Jeff Barker. I'd like to thank Jeff for his service to his country in the United States Marine Corps. Working back through the field, looks like we are getting nose to tail. Roger Craig still working that outside. Now he's got the 014 of Greg Boydell to contend with. Looks like the 747. Caution is out on the speedway. Looks like Pat Boyce may have been involved in that 41 machine. Gary Taylor in the 34, the 41 of Pat Boyce on the low side. The 513 closes. Looks like the 34 car gets up into that outside wall. McCarron got in an incident before that. Working lap 16 of 30. That is Blake Chapman at the front of the field in that 20 machine. Has your quick time for tonight. Jeff Valero holding down P2. So your top four have worked themselves back to where they started. Chapman, Valero, Dittmer, Spangler started the race in your top four, and that's where they stay. Tyler Wilson in the 042 in P5. Randy Shreves in the 56 in P6. We will go on board with the 20. Green flag is out. Super gentle on the throttle, almost completely off the throttle, running that bottom side. He's making it work. Now Valero decided to go to the high side. Almost makes contact with Brandon Dittmer in the 83. So we have top two. One working high, one working low, as is Dittmer and Spangler. Spangler gets way over the edge there, able to hold on to it. Blake Chapman working that bottom side. Now Brandon Dittmer is going to challenge the 200. Both of those cars. And the caution comes back out for the 558 of Brian Moore Sr. Running with Sigel Cow. Looks like they made contact there. He's able to hold on to it, then slides up, makes contact with the 2 car, and around the 558 goes. Still, Chapman, Valero, Dittmer, Spangler, they're stuck where they started. It will be Blake Chapman, lap 18 of 30, who takes the green flag. This restart will be on the leader. We do have one to go. As Chapman comes off of turn 4, he's off. Good restart by Chapman. Valero, Dittmer, Spangler, Wilson, Shreves, all the cars down low. 518 of Joseph Grandy. He's going to try to work that bottom side. Shreves moves up about a half car width, trying to get a run off of the middle side. Valero now battling it out with Brandon Dittmer in that 83 machine on lap 20 of 30. Dittmer down low, 200 up high. It is Jeff Valero at the line. Looks like Joe Canellis involved in some sort of incident. Let's take a look. Replays brought to you by Malcolm's Mills Mill Riding. Looks like the 397 gets loose. One car trying to work that bottom side just slides up, gets into the side of the 397, collects the 513. Nowhere for the 75 to go, the 68 to go. Captain Gary Taylor involved. Working lap 22 of 30. Donovan, this is Joe. You got me?
I got you now, buddy.
Hey, man, great run. It got a little exciting there in the end, man. Walk us through your night. You stayed around the front, and it ended up paying off in the end.
Yeah, I think I was, I don't know, 6th or 7th racing with Grandy there, and we had a decent race for a little while, but we weren't going nowhere. So I thought, oh hell, I'll go to the top and rip it around there, and then started going forward a little bit, and then they crashed in front, and now we go to the pay window with some winnings.
Yeah, man, great run. I got to tell you, I enjoy reading all your stuff on Facebook, man. I get a big kick out of it, almost as much as I like watching you run. Great run by you tonight. You got anybody you'd like to thank for your podium?
Yeah, thanks. I try to keep life entertaining. It's way too serious out there in the real world. But just the guys around here, you guys for the league and broadcast, and that's all I got for you.
Yeah, man, great run. We going to see you in the 360s?
Yeah, why not? Go give her a whirl.
All right, man. Good luck. Talk to you again, maybe.
All right, thanks, Joe.
Yeah, man. Patrick Spangler in the 39 car. He moves up 2 from his starting position. Patrick, this is Joe. You got me?
Yep, gotcha.
Hey, man, that was kind of crazy there in the end.
Yeah, it was real tight racing. It's just who can stay lowest coming out of the turn. So 305s, it was just all about track position. So yeah, and then the last turn was crazy. I looked at my rearview mirror and it looked like everybody's wrecking like Daytona. So I don't know what happened there.
Do you have anything for Blake in the end?
No, he was just guarding the inside. He was putting around the inside. So I tried powering around the top side, but it's just not there in the 305. So no, he was smart just to protect the bottom lane.
All right, man. Who do you want to thank for your second place finish?
You for putting on the broadcast and doing the Got Your Six Racing Network, and then Roger for putting on the league, Training Wheels Racing team, and Dad and Uncle back home watching.
All right, man. Good luck in the 360s.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. The 20 car of Blake Chapman puts down your quick time, starts on pole, leads every lap. Blake, this is Joe. You got me?
I got you, Joe.
Man, you had to love that scene if you use a rear view mirror. They were dueling it out behind you, but no one had anything for that 20 car tonight. Walk us through your night, how the track changed.
Yeah, well, the bottom was a place to be early there in qualifying and putting down a pretty good lap. And the heat race line moved up a bit, and sometimes it's better to be lucky than to be good. And I just got lucky in the heat race and ended up starting on the pole, and the bottom was fast from the drop of the hammer in the feature, so I was just holding it down there. Those last couple laps, I knew if I just held the bottom, either I was going to win or he was taking me out. So appreciate Patrick racing me clean, and I didn't catch that big melee at the end, but Patrick was saying there's quite a pile up there behind us there at the end.
Yeah, they were battling for that final podium position and got into a little skirmish. So what's the biggest difference for those watching between the 305s and the 360 sprint cars here at Lucas Oil?
There should be a lot more passing. You got a lot more horsepower to work with. Expect to see some slide jobs, the top maybe even coming in towards the end, and I'll hopefully definitely still be down there, right down by the tires, digging and clawing. But guys should be everywhere on the track. Like I said, more horsepower. The race shouldn't take as long, but sometimes guys get a little out of control with the more horsepower. So we'll just have to see and see what happens in the next one.
Yeah, man, great run by you. Congratulations on the victory. Who do you want to thank for your dash to victory lane?
I got to thank my parents and grandparents for watching and supporting. Got to give a shout out to the boys down at the Krite Sim racing team and Can-Am racing team and the Salty Dogs racing team for letting me join their Discord tonight. I got to thank Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. Head over to their website. Use code CART, C-A-R-T, at checkout for 15% off some of their very delicious popcorn. And I got to thank you for putting this broadcast on, Joe.
Yeah, man. Can't wait to watch you in the 360s. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There are the 305 sprint cars brought to you by Ace Designs. Coming up next, we got the Salty Dogs race team, the fixed 360s. That will be coming up right after we take a quick break. So we will be right back.
CoolRay has always been a leader in our industry.
The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our CoolRay lifetime parts and labor warranty at CoolRay.com. CoolRay and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
CoolRay has always...
Welcome back. We are back at Lucas Oil. We're moved up a little bit in horsepower here. We're with the 360 sprint cars. As in last 305 sprint cars, the 518 of Joseph Grandy at the top of the board with a 1281 in that 518. Donovan Ross, we saw him on the podium of the last race. He is currently running second quick in the higher horsepower cars. Again, welcome to CoolRay Hometown Heroes on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. 360 Sprint Cars brought to you by the Salty Dogs Race Team. You heard young Blake Chapman said he got invited in to their Discord tonight, so we'll have to do some behind the scenes investigating on thinking they're pulling young Blake Chapman in maybe for some advice there. So we'll have to, that is a ever ongoing story. We'll have to figure out how he got invited in with the Salty Dogs, who are the more mature drivers here at Coast to Coast Racing League. Joseph Grandy still at the top of the board. Now Brian Moore Sr. in that 558. He moves up. For those of you out there watching, don't forget we got a big Looks like Brian Moore Sr. is the only car still out on the track. There's Peter Brees in that 074 car. Came back for a little more action. Peter Breeze still out on the track, had a little bit of a schedule change, so we're waiting for a few more drivers to get into the field. Currently tracking 17 drivers currently in the field for the 358 or the 360 sprint cars. Coming up next, Magnum Race Designs 358 Big Block Mods will close out the night with the Mission 22 veterans only 360 sprint cars. Randy Shreves moves to the top of the board in that 56 machine, followed by Mr. Bob the Good, Joseph Grandy in P3, Brian Moore Sr. in P4, Donovan Ross in the 5 machine in P number 5. Randy Shreves running a 12.70, followed by Bob the Good with a 12.75. I'd like to thank all of our veterans in the field. Bob the Good for his service in the Air Force. The drivers are now going into a driver's meeting, so we will get underway here momentarily. 5-car of Donovan Ross still out on the track. Looks like we are preparing to advance to qualifying. They are just wrapping up the driver's meeting. Took a little bit longer tonight as there was a late last second schedule change. Looks like we got 18 cars in the field tonight. We are getting ready to go qualifying. We will grab the first car that comes out on the track. Again, we stepped up from the fixed 305s to a little bit of more horsepower in the 360 sprint cars. It is the 39 machine of Patrick Spangler who jumps out on track first. We will follow along. Spangler coming off of turn 4 for his first time lap. Running a slider line, we saw the 305 stick to down low. Spangler at the top of the board. Greg Boydell now. That top spot is switching around pretty quick. 014 of Greg Boydell at the top of the board. Donovan Ross in the 5 machine, currently in P7 or 8 now. Pat Boyce in that 41 machine, coming for his first time lap. 9th quick for Boyce. Jeff Falero in the 200. Running a slider line also. 5th quick, Randy Shreves in the 56, currently 6th quick on his first lap. a little bit loose getting into 4, shuts it down. The 20 car of Blake Chapman is back with us. Shuts it down, third quick, Bob DeGood to P2. Got a couple of cars left out on the track. Your quick time, Joseph Grandy with a 12.77, followed by DeGood, Chapman, Boydell, and Moore Sr. The 074 of Peter Brees is still out on track, getting a few extra laps. If you are tuned in and you are not a member of the Coast to Coast Racing League, could highly recommend it. They race 7 days a week, a ton of broadcasts. Check them out. C2CRL.com. Racing without all the drama you get in other racing leagues. Looks like that slider line very popular there in turns 3 and 4. We'll have to see how that plays out in the race. I can tell you that bottom line can get pretty racy once that top burns off. So we will see how that plays out. Yes, we got about 3 seconds until heat number 1. 18 cars in the field tonight. Peter Brees, Randy Shreves on the front row of heat number 1. Greg Boydell starting on the inside of row number 2 with Joseph Grandy to his outside. Jamie McCarran and Steve Bixler will be in row number 3. Again, at Coast to Coast Racing League, they do invert the top 4 from qualifying. So your quick time qualifier is the 518 of Joseph Grandy. Waiting on one more car to grid. Looks like Jamie McCarran is going to miss the grid. So the 074 of Brees will roll off. The initial start is on green. They got 6 laps to get this done. We saw that bottom line is the place to be in 305 sprint cars. Let's see where they run in the 360s. I anticipate the top being the place to be early. But once that track wears out, they may move down to the bottom also. Pace truck is off, leaving the 074 of Brees with Randy Shreves to his outside. They are coming into turn 3. The field is tightened up. Coming off of turn 4, looking for the green flag. Green flag is out. We are underway. Brees down low. Looks like Randy Shreves will take over the lead, followed by Grandy. Both of those cars running right below the marbles, making it work. Brees in 4, Greg Boydell in the 4th and final transfer position with Steven Bixler all over the rear tail tank of that 014. Up front, Joseph Grandy's not letting Shreves get very far from the front of his number 518 machine. Trying to get underneath. Has to back out of the throttle a little bit. There's a look back from the 56, your current leader. Last lap. Shreves holds off the 518. 2 more corners to navigate. Joseph Grandy's going to dive down low. Can't make it happen. Shreves, Grandy, Brees, Boydell are your top 4. Patrick Spangler on the inside of row number 1 with Brandon Dipper to his outside. Brian Moore Sr., Bob the Good in row number 2. Donovan Ross, Jeff Barker in row number 3. As you saw, there are 6 laps in each heat race. Everybody will transfer to the feature tonight. We saw the 39 and the 83 battle it out last race. It will be Patrick Spangler that takes us to the green flag. Pace truck should exit this time by leaving the field to the 39 of Patrick Spangler. Coming into turn 3. They are looking for the green flag exiting turn 4. Green flag is out. We are underway. They are side by side at the line. Spangler slides up. Crossover coming from Dittmer. Dipper's going to try to dive down low. Slide job return. Too much. Gets into the outside wall. Spangler takes over the lead. That moves the 7 car of the Good up to P2. Brian Moore Sr. in the 558 in P3. Donovan Ross in that 5 machine currently in the P4 position, followed by Barker in the 513 Marine machine. Patrick Spangler setting sail up front, got almost a second gap between himself and second place, Bob the Good. Go on board with your leader, see where he's running. Those of you that run Lucas Oil know there's a very subtle drop-off up top. Patrick Spangler has it mastered, running right up, right below the marbles. He's pushing that cushion higher and higher each lap. Bob the Good in P2, followed by Brian Moore Sr., Donovan Ross in the 5 machine. We are nose to tail, getting spread out. It will be Spangler, the Good, Moore, Ross, Barker is your finishing order in heat number 2. Gary Taylor, Pat Boyce on the front row of heat number 3, followed by Jeff Falero, Blake Chapman in row number 2, Roger Craig, Gary Siegelkow in the 3rd and final row. We saw the 200 of Falero and the 20 of Blake Chapman have a great race in the 305 sprint cars. We're about to see if that will transfer over, but it will be the captain, Gary Taylor, from the Salty Dogs race team, who will begin the race on the pole with the 41 of Pat Boyce to his outside. Pace truck should exit this time by. Coming into 3 and 4, Gary Taylor will be looking for the green flag at the exit of turn 4. Green flag is out. We are underway. Taylor Trying that bottom side as Boyce. They make contact up front. Blake Chapman, Jeff Valero able to get by. That will move the 747 of Roger Craig up to P4. Gary Taylor battles back. Those are teammates battling there. Those two make contact. Blake Chapman still under attack from the 200, working lap 3 of 6, waiting for the slide job to come from the 200. Gets into the back of the 20 machine. Gary Taylor in P3, Roger Craig in P4. Coming to the white flag, the 20 car in the lead. We saw how hard he can beat a pass. He goes down low, trying that bottom side. Maybe a little bit of scouting for the feature race coming up. Chapman, Falero, Taylor, Craig, Siegelcow are your top 5. Three minutes of warm-up, so we will be right back.
1, 2, 3. I love it, Molly.
They say it's a matter of time, 1,000 days and the sun won't shine before I come back to you. For your love I will go far, I wanna be wherever you are. I know I'm coming back for you.
Brother, it's good to see you.
My love is a river long, the best ride in a million wrongs. I know I'm coming back to you. And I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. And I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. I'm making my way home. I'm making my way.
Welcome back. We are just wrapping up warm-ups as they prep the track here for the feature race. It is Randy Shreves in the 56 machine at the top of the board. Randy with a 13:43, followed by Donovan Ross, Blake Chapman having another great run. Randy Shreves and Patrick Spangler will start on the front row for your feature. Blake Chapman, Joseph Grandy in row 2. Bob DeGood, Jeff Valero in row 3. Peter Brees, Brian Moore Sr. in row number 4. Gary Taylor, Greg Boydell in row number 5. Donovan Ross, Roger Craig in row number 6. Stephen Bixler, Jeff Barker in row number 7. Single Cow and McCarran in row number 8. Brandon Dittmer and Pat Boyce round out your field of 18 drivers. Track is getting a little bit of wear on it, as you can see. Once that slicks gets all the way to that outside, that bottom may come in. It will be Randy Shreves who starts on the pole here, and he was quickest in warm-ups. So those two are usually not a good combination for the rest of the field. We will see the 39 car starting on the outside. He may have the preferred line as the pace truck exits. Last race winner, the 20 car, Krite Sim Racing's Blake Chapman, rolls off on the inside of row number 2, and the 518 of Joseph Grandy to his outside. But up front, coming off of turn number 4, 30 laps to get it done. Green flag is out. We are underway. Great start by the 39, and the 20. Chapman throws it down low. Side by side, the 56 and the 20. Shreve slides up. Crossover coming. Looks like Gary Taylor may have been involved. Replays brought to you by Malcolm's Mills Mill Riding. Looks like Roger Craig was also involved. You can see the 34 down low. I don't know who that might be. Donovan Ross behind the 34. They come off a turn 4 okay. The 34 just gets into the back of the 5. No place for the 47 to go. The 83 happened to be up there. He's into that outside fence. Randy Shreves on the front row gets a great start. Patrick Spangler in the 39 tries to slide down low to see what he can make happen. We saw the 20 car, Blake Chapman, also running that low line. Shreves getting a good run off the top of 4. Spangler, looks like Shreves may have went off the top a little bit. Spangler able to make the pass. He's going to bring the 20 car with him. Shreves recovers in P3, trying to get back to the front, followed by Joseph Grandy. Bob the Good in the 7 car. Jeff Valero battling it out with the 074 of Brees. Brian Moore Sr. is back there. Contact from the 34. No caution. They're able to keep going. The 014 of Greg Boydell still battling it out. P10. Up front, Spangler and Chapman putting on a clinic down low. Let's go on board and see what that sounds like. I have a feeling that it will be all the way off the throttle. If you can run that bottom, and you almost have to be on the throttle until you feel like it's too late, you get a great jump off that bottom side at the exit of turn number 4. Those two getting it done. Spangler moves up a little high, leaves the bottom to Blake Chapman. Randy Shreves falls back to P3. He's kind of diamonding the corner. Adds the 518 of Joseph Grandy. MP4, Bob the Good, MP5, working lap 9 of 30. 200 car of Jeff Valero. He's still working the high side. 25 of Single Cow into that outside wall. No caution comes out. There's the caution. Looks like the 34 car involved. Captain Gary Taylor working that bottom line, running a slider line there. You can see that top side is starting to get super slick. 513 of Barker come in. Those two make contact. Patrick Spangler able to hold the lead. We are working lap 10 of 30. Spangler, Chapman, Shreves, Grandy, DeGood are your top 5. We have reached the halfway point. Spangler able to hold off the hard charging Krite Sim Racing number 20 of Blake Chapman in that last run. Looks like Chapman just a half second later on throttle pickup on the exit of turn 4. He was getting a great run on that bottom side. Was able to make the pass momentarily. We will see. Pace truck is off. That will leave the field to the 39 car of Patrick Spangler. Spangler, Chapman, Shreves, Grandy DeGood. Coming off of turn 4. Great start by the 39. Got a little bit loose on the start. Able to get down back to that bottom line. Followed by Chapman. Randy Shreves in the 56. Currently in P3. Followed by Joseph Grandy in P4. And Bob the Good. He's under attack from that 200 car of Falero. Falero working that bottom side. 074 slides up into Bob the Good. Caution is back out. So we will try it again. On lap 19 of 30. Coming up next, 358 Big Block Mods. Brought to you by Magnum Race Designs. Lights are off on the pace truck, so should exit this time by. Pace truck is off. We will go on the nose cam of Blake Chapman in that 20 machine. You can see the track is burnt off all the way to the top here. Great start by the 39. We will ride aboard. See how close they're getting to that inside tire. Randy Shreves slides through the picture. He's running a slider line up high, currently in P3. Joseph Grandy in P4, followed by Jeff Falero. Working lap 22 of 30. Blake Chapman running that bottom line. Spengler goes up high, goes over the top. Caution comes back out. I did not see a caution, huh? As the 074 heads to pit lane. Looks like that car is damaged from previous contact. Up front, Patrick Spengler on lap 22 of 30, able to hold off Krite Sim Racing's Blake Chapman, not far behind LGR 56 machine. Pace truck is off, leaving the field to Patrick Spengler. We're coming off a turn 4. Great start by the 39. Dives for the bottom, as does Chapman. Shreves running about a half car higher. Great battle for the front. Patrick Spengler able to hold the bottom. 20 car can't quite pull up and get even with them as Shreves and Grandy are running a little bit higher. Not quite the top. They're running right through the slick. Looks like Spangler moved up, as did Jeff Falero in the 200 machine. Caution comes back out. I think we saw that one. .05 of Donovan Ross. So he was aiming for a slider line. The 558 was blocking his way. The two make contact. Around they go. Working lap 27 of 30. So young Blake Chapman, if he's going to work some magic, it's time. It's go time. So we'll see if he can make something happen at the front. Randy Shreves in the final podium position with Joseph Grandy in that 518. He's on the outside looking in at a podium. Falero in P5. Followed by the 513 Marine Machine of Barker. Steven Bixler moves up P7. Roger Craig in the 747 up to P8. Bob DeGood P9. And Brian Moore Sr. rounds out your top 10. Just a few more laps to get it done. It will be the 39 of Spangler that brings us to the green flag. He's starting that train on the high side. Will he duck down in 1 and 2? Yes, sir. 39 to the bottom. Blake Chapman follows him on the bottom. Shreves and Grandy still fighting for that middle ground. Grandy wants up there. He wants a podium spot. He's going to move down to the bottom. Shreves still making that high side work. As the caution comes back out once again, looks like Brian Moore Sr. involved. Working underneath the 34, just makes contact. Around goes the 558. Patrick Spangler still at the front of the field. Got the 20 car. Blake Chapman in hot pursuit. Can Blake Chapman make something happen here? Working lap 27 of 30. Randy Shreves holds down that final podium position with Joseph Grandy in the 518 to his rear tail tank. Lights are off on the pace truck. Coming out of turn 4, looking for the green flag. Good start by the 39. Dives for the bottom. Whoa, he makes super close to the tire. Makes it work. Good run off the bottom by the 20. 20 car got a good run off the bottom of 2. Closes the gap between himself and the 39. 39 can't hold the bottom in 3 and 4. These two are going to battle it out. Meanwhile, Shreves battling it out with Grandy. The 518 all over back of the 56. We got 1 lap to go. Up front, Spangler moves up to the high side, gets a good run off the top. Spangler, Chapman, Shreves are your top 3. Great run to the end. The 518 was giving it all he had there in the end. Just came up 1 position short of a podium. Spangler, Chapman, Shreves, Grandy, Falero, your top 5. Barker, DeGood, Craig, Ross, Moore, round out your top 10. We will get a word with your top 3 here momentarily. As soon as they come up into the booth. There is Randy Shreves, the 56 of Randy Shreves. Randy, great run. You and the 518 there of Joseph Grandy battling it out there to the end, man. Walk us through your night.
Well, overall it was a good night. Started off pretty bad in my qualifying, then caught the invert pretty good, won the heat, started off pole, and kind of made the mistake of going up top too early, and kind of gave the race away there. And yeah, I really didn't have anything for Patrick or Blake there until maybe the last 4 laps, and that just probably wasn't enough time.
Yeah, maybe if we didn't get so many cautions in the track war a little sooner, you might have got that 56 up there, man. Another great run by you, another podium. You got anybody you'd like to thank for your podium finish?
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely want to thank my team, LGR Motorsports, Redline Race Designs, One Wish Foundation, Wraps and Stitches, KSB Builders, Finish Line Repair, CD Cinematography, C2CRN for the broadcast, and Coast to Coast for putting on this awesome league, and everybody for watching.
Yeah, man, we gonna see you in the 358 Big Block Mods?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try. Not sure how well I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna drive it.
All right, man. Good luck.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, man. The 20 car of Blake Chapman moves up one position from his start. Blake, this is Joe. You got me?
I got you, Joe.
Man, that one went right down to the wire. You and Patrick battling it out. There were times where you took the lead and he was able to wrestle it back from you. Walk us through. It looked like you were able to maybe hold off the throttle maybe a half second longer to get that jump off of turn 4. Walk us through your night with that.
Yeah, at the start there, went from third to first, and then the caution came out, so I had to give those spots back, which was pretty unfortunate. And then every time it seemed like I had to run on Patrick, the caution would come out, and you just hated to see that. But it got really slick there towards the end, and there really wasn't much down there for grip, and the margin for error was getting smaller and smaller, and felt like we were pretty even in 1 and 2, but I felt like I was a lot better in 3 and 4. And I'd pull inside of him. I just couldn't get the angle coming into the corner enough to get around him. I tried using the brake, but that way I just didn't have enough speed down low. And I just appreciate running with Patrick. I knew he wasn't just going to run me down into the tires once I got inside of him, and I had a lot of fun tonight. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, man, 2 podiums for that 20 machine. Who do you want to thank?
Same people as last time. Got to thank my parents, grandparents. Got to thank everybody down at the Krite Sim Racing Team, the Can-Am Racing Team, and the Salty Dogs for letting me join them tonight. And I got to thank everybody that puts this league on, all the volunteers, Roger, everybody. Got to give a shout out to Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. Use code CART, C-A-R-T at checkout, 15% off some of the really delicious popcorn. And got to thank you for broadcasting this, Joe.
Yeah, man. We're going to see you in 358?
And not tonight. Maybe next week.
All right, man. Have a great evening and probably great weekend. I won't see you till next week, so enjoy.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, man. The 39 of Patrick Spangler is able to move up one position and hold off the rest of the field. Patrick, this is Joe. You got me?
Yeah, gotcha.
Man, that was a heck of a battle there between you and Blake in the end. Both of you going down low. It looks like you changed to running about a half car length up off the bottom, a little bit higher than the 20. Was that on purpose, or could you not hold the car down that low?
He was holding the car down lower on the exit, and he got below me, so I didn't want to cut him off or anything. So I just tried the middle and trying to crowd him just enough where he couldn't slide up, but then give him enough so I wasn't just cutting his nose off or something. So I was just trying to keep it clean there and racing. I was surprised I was able to hold up to that bottom line. Usually that bottom line is pretty quick.
Yeah, that was absolutely amazing. You did go up to the top a couple times, What was the difference between the top and bottom tonight?
The top usually never comes in. I've seen some people make it work. I think Victory made it work one time, and I tried, and it just wasn't there. So, just keeping it as low as you can. The sprint cars.
Yeah, man, love the track. Love your drive tonight. Who do you want to thank for your drive to victory lane?
First is the Guardian Angel Bernie and the flagman stand. 'Cause every time Blake would get around me, a yellow flag would come out. You for putting on the broadcast. Roger for running the league. Dad and Uncle back home watching. Wife for letting me race, and Training Wheels Racing.
Yeah, man, we're going to see you in the next 2 races.
I'll be in the veteran race, but I'm going to take one off for the big blocks.
Well, you should be good and warmed up for that, man. Great run for you, my friend, and we'll see you here in a couple races.
Sounds good. See you later.
All right, man. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There are the 360 sprint cars brought to you by the Salty Dog Race Team. We will take a quick break, and when we come back, we will be with the limited or the 358 modifieds and the big blocks. So we will be right back.
History repeats itself. History is always happening over and over again. So one of the ways to stop a theme, one of the ways to stop something from reoccurring is to first of all admit it. It didn't take long for us to quickly realize that there was power behind Mission 22, power behind its brand, power behind its message, and power behind its people that represented it.
All right, my friends, day 19 of 22, the 22-day push-up challenge. Day 19 means 418 men and women have possibly committed suicide in the last 19 days. I went and looked up my ship, the USS Rushmore. More people who have killed themselves by now than ever served on our ship at one time in just 19 days.
19, 20, 21. One more. Y'all ready for the last one?
Yeah, Mission 22 has become a decentralized nationwide effort to show love, to raise money, to be available for other warriors, to be able to be a point of contact, to let the warriors know, but also for warriors to let other warriors know that there is a community. You're not alone. This isn't happening in silence. You're not forgotten. You know, we brought 4 veterans from all different parts of the United States and brought them together to hike through the state of Oregon.
May God bless you on your journey. Thank you for serving our country and for being willing to go on this walk. I'm praying you feel peace and strength with each mile.
You know, on this hike, some folks found God, some folks remained sober, some folks lost a significant amount of weight to be able to participate. And not so much just a healing walk for us as warriors, but for us to contribute to other people's healing. You know, this hike, we raised $12,000 for endobiogeny. Some of the folks on this hike, you know, they're going to be volunteers for this treatment. And I couldn't be more pleased and more proud because it was difficult. We had a lot of struggles. Not everything on this hike went pretty, you know, but we put some skin in the game. At the end of the day, we were able to raise money and we'll be able to use that money so guys can get the treatment that they need. The War at Home Monument is an example of our social impact, of our awareness, of our permanent fixture to do the work that we can't always do, to always remind us of what we've lost and what we will lose if we don't reconcile it. What we've done is taken 20 different veterans with their families' permission and used them as a silhouette to cut out of a 3,000-pound plate of steel. These warriors are placed in a V, and this is to show the size of the problem. This is to show the empty space they leave behind. And it's also to be a constant reminder of what happens when we don't listen to the stories of the warriors that fought in our name. Because it's not okay. It's not okay that everyone didn't know about veteran suicide. It's not okay that these things were a secret or left unsaid, or that it was shameful. It's not okay that it's shameful to suffer alone and suffer in silence, because if you ask for help, that you're no longer a warrior, that you're weak.
Yeah. So I come back and I thought everybody else changed. So I pushed my family away. And it took a long time to really realize it because I didn't want to look internally. You know, I got my Class A CDL and hit the road. I was on the road for about 8 years trucking. And This makes me think about how insignificant all of the major things going on are. I mean, what, a million years ago, that blew up. And, over time became this.
Whether it's hiking mountains or building monuments, it takes a community to heal a warrior. Warriors didn't get damaged and didn't become separated from the sunlight of the spirit on their own. It happened in the name of this nation. We can change the way we think about war, how we think about warriors, how we think about ourselves, and what we think we're going to do in the American community. We can do it now. We can do it here. And there's going to be another generation of warriors coming. We can set the tone to create a culture that grabs them up and loves them and smothers them in resources, in opportunity, right now.
The goal at any given race is, of course, to win. And CrowdStrike, AWS, and DXDT were fortunate to achieve championship-winning results in 2020. We're extremely proud to be partnering with Operation Motorsport through our racing initiatives. Their program seeks to place military veterans in various positions inside a real racing team. The experience aids in their retraining, recovery, and rehabilitation.
So my name is Chad Failing. I'm a staff sergeant retired out of the United States Army. I am with Kevin Boehm under DXDT. You're getting creative. You're getting taught to think outside of the box.
We couldn't be more proud to be affiliated with this great program. In the spirit of giving back to the community and creating meaningful opportunities, we are committed to building a diverse motorsports platform with the amazing men and women who have served our country.
Welcome back. We are in a practice for the 358 / Big Block Modifieds. Coming up after this will be the Veterans Only 360 division. But first, the Magnum Race Designs 358 Big Block Mods. If you need a wrap done, you need logos made, check out Magnum Race Designs. Brian does amazing work. He's helped us out. Check him out. Joseph Grandy, the 518, back at the top of the board. Again, you get to pick which one you want, the small block or big block here. And we are right back here at Lucas Oil for the CoolRay Hometown Heroes on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Looks like practice has wrapped up. We're getting ready to go qualifying. Not a huge field tonight. We will follow along as the cars come out on the track. Brandon Dittmer in that 83 machine will be the first car out on the track. Michael Vitale in the 213 out on track. I'd like to thank Michael for his service to our country, United States Air Force. Michael, thank you for your service, sir. And he's at the top of the board in that 213, running a 15:25. Joseph Grandy, we've seen the 518 up front all night long with a 15:18. Jeff Barker in the 513 machine. He is currently 5th quick. Kurt Schatzer in the 218 moves up to P2 with a 15:24 for Schatzer. Dean Reynolds out on track in the 79, currently 7th quick. Kevin Fry in the 21 is on track. 9th quick for the 21 machine with a 15:49. Jeff Valero in the 200 is back with us, currently 11th quick. And Gary Siegelkow in the 25, 13th quick with the 15:85. Kevin Fry still out on track in the 21. Looks like everybody else has already taken their time. It's Joseph Grandy with your current quick time, followed by Schatzer, Vitale, Shreves, and Brees. Kevin Fry getting some extra laps. We've got about 30 seconds to go before we get into heat racing. Kevin is a flag man for Real Racing out in Texas. And a sponsor of Coast to Coast Racing League, 2-1 Designs. Dean Reynolds, Peter Brees on the front row, followed by Michael Vitale, Joseph Grandy in row number 2, Kevin Fry, Jeff Valero in row number 3. And Gary Siegelkow will round out your field of 7 drivers. It will be the 79 car of Dean Reynolds that takes us to the green flag. Again, Peter Brees to his outside in that 074. Pace truck should exit this next time by. Watch that 213 and the 518 your quick time qualifier in Joseph Grandy. Pace truck is off. It will be the 79 car Super Dirt Car Series Director Dean Reynolds looking for the green flag off at turn 4. Green flag is out. We are underway as the 79 slides it down. We are 3 wide for P2. That typically does not work. Grandy, your quick time qualifier, he is on his lid on lap number 1. Dean Reynolds gets to the lead, followed by Vitaly, Brees, and Siegelcow now in that 24 is in the 4th and final transfer position, although everybody is transferring tonight. Dean Reynolds running a slider line, 213 in tow. Pulling up to that rear bumper there. Go on board with Michael Vitale as he tries to close in. Track starting to get pretty slick. Gets right up to that rear bumper. Working lap 5 of 6, coming to 1 to go. Pulls up alongside. Can he get the pass? Two corners to get it done. Can he make it work in 3 and 4? Will he go down low? Yeah, Reynolds, Vitale, Brees, Siegelcow are your top 4. Heat 2, Brandon Templeton and Jeff Barker on the front row. Randy Shreves, Kurt Schatz are in row number 2. Bob DeGood, Brandon Dittmer will round out your field of 6 drivers. All 6 cars that were called the grid will grid. 31 car driver out of Corning, Iowa. Brandon Templeton will roll off on the front row. He's got Jeff Barker to his outside. Stout second row with Randy Shreves on the inside of Kurt Schatzer in that 218 machine. And you can never count out the 7 of Bob DeGood in the ABR number 7 machine. Pace truck will exit this time by. We got 6 laps to get it done. Everybody heading to the feature. It will be Templeton that brings us to the green flag. They are working in turns 3 and 4. Templeton will exit forward looking for the green flag. Green flag is out. We are underway. Barker jumps to the outside in the 513, trying to get that outside to work. Templeton able to hold his own down low. Now Barker under attack from the 218 of Kurt Schatzer. They're side by side. Schatzer switches up his line. Now Randy Shreves gets on that outside. So they are just how they started. Templeton, Barker, Shreves, Schatzer are your top 4. Randy Shreves taking a peek inside that 513. You can see the 513 slide by the 56 there. Templeton's got to love seeing this in his rearview mirror as these two battle it out. Now Schatzer getting up into the picture. Schatzer running a little bit lower than the two of them. So let's see which line prevails. Templeton opens up a 1.5 gap in the dirt track bank number 31 over Barker. Now Schatzer's able to take over P2. One lap to go. Can the 218 car get it done? Good run off the bottom side. Templeton checks out on the field. Coming off at turn 4. Schatzer, Barker, Shrees too close to call for P4. Great run to the end. We will have 3 minutes of warm-up, and we will be right back.
Our biggest thing is getting the word out, awareness of Mission 22, the struggle as it is to fight PTSD and suicide. My name's Corey Decker. I'm the state representative for Mission 22. This year's been great. We got a bunch of great guys that have gotten together and decided to create this rally. The word's getting out, and it's turned into quite an event where we can actually help a lot of veterans. It's a great event, but you really have to go and see it for yourself, and it's really one of those things that's an experience. Just going that weekend, we've seen how it changes people.
When people hear Till Valhalla Project, the first thing they might think of is our shirts. But what most people don't know is that our plaques came first and the t-shirts came second. What some people might not know is that the same shirts that we make day in and day out allowed us to do unbelievable things for unbelievable people. Whether it's donating our proceeds to reduce veteran suicide or gifting handcrafted memorial plaques to the families of fallen heroes, these t-shirts simply stand for honor and freedom, two words that wouldn't exist without our heroes. This makes Till Valhalla Project a place where fallen heroes truly live on forever.
Welcome back. Joseph Grandy at the top of the board. So the 518 has been super quick. Got caught up in a little bit of an incident in his heat race, so he will most likely start towards the back. Brandon Templeton second quick in that 31 machine. We're getting ready to go feature racing. Dean Reynolds, Brandon Templeton on the front row. Michael Vitale, Kurt Schatzer in row number 2. Peter Brees, Jeff Barker in row number 3. Single Cow, Shreves in row number 4. Joseph Grandy, Bob DeGood in row number 5. Kevin Fry, Brandon Dittmer in row number 6, and Jeff Falero will roll off in position number 13. So the quick car in warm-ups will roll off in P9. So this will be interesting to see if Grandy can't get his car through the field towards the front. Great front row with Reynolds and Templeton. The 213 and the 218 in row number 2. So this is going to be interesting. Got some great cars in the field tonight. Got 30 laps to get it done. We will keep an eye on that 518 to see how he gets through the field. He's back with Randy Shreves, the 7 of Bob the Good. Pace truck is off. Dean Reynolds is going to take us to the green flag. The initial start is on green. Coming around, coming out of turn 4, looking for the green flag at the flag stand. Green flag is out. We are underway. Great start by the 79. Reynolds will try to slide up and get on that outside line as the 213 of Vitale. He's working the bottom. He moved up. Contact between the 31 and the 79. Two cars going for the same place on the track. Vitale made that bottom work. The 31 of Brandon Templeton running in P2. Dean Reynolds running right above the slick. Looks like the 31 looked like a little bit of not sure if they made contact or not. Can't see it from that view. Around the 79 goes. 31 is involved. The 18 of Kurt Schatzer gets a little bit of damage. Barker comes into the picture. He's able to avoid the 79. So we'll line them up and do it again. Templeton, Vitale, Schatzer, Brice are your top 4. Great run by Michael Vitale at the start, running that low line. He was able to get underneath the 3 of them. Let's see if he can keep that low line working now. Templeton goes down low. Vitale goes with diamonding the corner there in the 213. Kurt Schatzer in P3. The 74 of Brice is in P4. Barker is in P5. Looks like the 21 car of Kevin Fry trying to come through the field. Slides up in between 2 cars, makes it work. 83 with a good run. Working above the 7 car of Mr. Bob the Good. As the 79 gets pinched up into the wall. Up front, Templeton opened up a half-second gap between himself and Vitale. We are single file. Let's check on the 518. He's up 2 positions. Caution comes back out. Looks like Seagull Cow in the 25, running below, makes contact with Kevin Fry. And around that 25 goes. Open wheel cars do not like contact on that front end at all. That is usually the outcome. Brandon Templeton still at the front of the field, working lap 4 of 30. Off goes the pace truck. Templeton will be looking for the green flag in coming to turn 3. Still in tow, Vitaly Schatzer are your top 3. Coming out of turn 4. Great start by your top 2. Vitaly goes right with the 31, slides up high. 218 of Kurt Schatzer keeps it down low. The 074 of Brees is running a middle line. Randy Shreves running a little bit higher. Jeff Barker in that 513. He's running the high side, not quite up on the marbles, running just above the slick. Templeton now has moved up. Vitaly running the bottom side. Looks like Templeton's running high in 3 and 4, low in 1 and 2. He's able to open up a gap between himself and the 213 of Vitaly. Kurt Schatzer still trying the high side in that 218 dirt track bank machine. Brees in the 74, currently running in P4. Randy Shreves in P5. Oh, the 74 goes over that top ledge. That will give only one position to Shreves. Now the 74 is going to cut down low. Looks like we got a battle for P2 as the 218 and the 213 go at it. You got 218 of Kurt Schatzer up high. Vitaly trying to run that bottom side. Looks like the high side still has enough grip. 218 with a good run off the top of 4. It will be Schatzer at the line, who falls in line behind his teammate, the 31 of Brandon Templeton. Vitaly will move back to P3. Top 3 pulling away from the field a little bit. There's a look at your top 5. Go on board with the 213. He's running kind of a diamond corner, but using only the bottom. Schatzer's able to put a little space between himself and Vitaly. And Templeton's able to open up over a second gap between himself and his teammate, Kurt Schatzer. Vitaly in P3. Randy Shreves in P4. Working lap 19 of 30. Kevin Fry trying to get underneath the 074 of Brees. Templeton up front over a second gap still, so you're not missing anything up front. Dean Reynolds in the 7-9 machine. He's up, let's see, he was running 10, so up 3. Got an incident with the 31 early in the race. Now Schatzer puts some space between himself and the 213. Working lap 23 of 30. Go on board with your leader as the 80th. Whoa, somebody, Jeff Valero, up high, right in front of your leader. Running that high line in the 200. Just gets over the edge there. The top gets super flat. Over the 200 goes. Working lap 24 of 30. Templeton, Schatz, Vitale, Shreves, Breeze are your top 5. Kevin Fry, Dean Reynolds, Barker, DeGood, and Siegelcow round out your top 10. So this will bring the 213 back to the rear bumper of the 218. It will be Templeton bringing us to the green flag. Good start by Templeton, working lap 25 of 30. Templeton goes down low in 1 and 2. We've seen him work the bottom in 1 and 2, top in 3 and 4. Kurt Schatzer in P2 under attack from the 213 of Vitale, trying to work that bottom side. Now Randy Shreves on the high side. He's going to try to get by the 213. He wants that final podium position. Can't get the job done. The 213 getting a decent drive off that bottom side. Up front, Templeton opens up almost a second gap between himself and Kurt Schatzer. Michael Vitale is committed to that bottom line. Shreves running up high. He closes in ever so slightly each lap. Not sure what happened to the 218, but it looks like Schatzer ran into an issue running up high. That brings all 3 of these cars into play for P2. They are side by side working lap 29 of 30. Templeton, he's checking out on the field. He's got to love seeing this in his rearview mirror. It's Schatzer at the line. Vitale in close second. Shreves on the outside waiting to pounce for that final podium shot. Vitale dives down low. Schatzer off the high side. Templeton, Schatzer, Vitale are your top 3. So great finish. Had a few cautions in that one, but in the end, it was a great battle to the finish. Michael Vitale brings the 213 home in P3. We will get a word with these street drivers here momentarily. See Brandon Templeton in the booth. Waiting on the 213, the Gears Unlimited driver of Michael Vitale. There he is. The 213 car starts third, finished third. Michael, this is Joe. You got me?
I got you, Joe.
Man, great run in the 213. You were able to take second there early. How'd they get by you?
I switched up my lines. You know, I decided to go up top to hang out up on top with them, but I was more comfortable on the bottom. Templeton's a rocket, so it was a good run.
Yeah, man, great run by the 213. You think with more laps, what would have taken those guys on the high side? This track seems to wear out up high late, and that bottom comes in. Is that what you were waiting on?
Yeah, that's when I gave it a shot again late in the race. I went back to the bottom. Again, had a lot of bite coming off. A couple of laps, maybe I would have had something for him.
All right, man. Who do you want to thank for your podium finish?
Hey, I want to thank everybody over at Morano Racing, Tony Morano, Billy Roberts over at Gears Unlimited, and you guys for putting this on. Appreciate you, Joe.
Yeah, man. Shout out and prayers for the Morano family. They're out in Florida tonight, so couldn't join us. So keep them in your thoughts and prayers and hope they're safe, man. Great run by you, Michael, and we will see you tomorrow night.
10-4, Joe.
All right, man. That is Michael Vitale. He comes home P3. We got the 218 of Kurt Schatzer, who was able to move up 2 positions from his start in the 218. Kurt, walk us through your night.
Oh, hey, Joe. Man, it was a good night there. The car was dialed in up high. We had it working. I don't know. It might have started going away there at the end there. Vitaly started making a run on me on the bottom, and luckily I was able to hold it off.
Yeah, man, I've never run mods here. I know the sprint cars love the bottom side. Is this typical for the mods to be better on the high side than the low here?
I'm not sure here. I can't give away my trade secrets.
All right, man. Did you have anything for your teammate up there in that 31 machine?
Nah, they're Brandon there. He's an expert with the mods here. I don't think I had anything for him there. He set a pretty decent pace there out front. I was just doing everything I could to hang with him.
Yeah, man, great run. Who do you want to thank for your podium finish?
Well, I got to thank the team, Hammer Down Racing. I want to congratulate Brandon Templeton, one of the team member there, Brian Dickens, and you most of all there, Joe, for putting me on the team there and showing me coast to coast, and everybody that puts on coast to coast to give us a place to race. Our sponsors there for the team, Dirt Track Bank, they do wonderful stuff for dirt track racing around the country. Got Your Six Racing Network and VMR Wraps.
All right, man. Great night, and we will see you tomorrow night. I imagine you'll be running at least the late models.
Oh, sure, yeah. I won't miss a late model race.
I'll try to tune in, my brother. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, man. Brandon Templeton in the 31 car. He moves up one position and is able to take home the victory. Brandon, this is Joe. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Joe.
Man, that was a good run. You got away from him there. It seemed like once you got in the lead, you only took a couple laps, and you were able to put about a second between you and the rest of the field, man. Walk us through your night. How did the track change?
Well, those guys were side by side behind me there once we kind of got going there for some green flag laps. And so that gave me the advantage of being able to, choose my line on both ends of the track. And, I thought it was a little better low in 1 and 2 and a little better high in 3 and 4. And so that kind of worked out in my favor when they battled it out for second. But I got to apologize to Dean there. I'm not sure if he got loose or if I hit him or if it was netcode or any of that. I haven't seen the replay, but it felt like his car just turned in front of me. And I don't know if that was me or not, but sorry, Dean.
Yeah, so Kurt and I were talking about the difference between sprint cars and mods here at Lucas Oil. Seems like late in a race, even in the 360 sprint cars, that bottom gets pretty racy. Here, it stayed kind of up high. I noticed your line switched from end to end. What's the biggest difference, in your opinion, between sprint cars here at Lucas Oil and the modifieds?
I'm not really sure. The modifieds is just hard to get in the throttle. They want to spin the tires and the back end steps out. They don't have all the fancy suspension moving around as much as like the late models or, even with the sprint cars, the way they've got more stagger in the wing and aero, I guess. So, I don't know. It just seemed to roll around that corner. It's all about traction, and these things is so darn easy to spin the tires. And, maybe that's just part of it. It's a little easier in the other cars.
Yeah, twice the tire and half the weight of the car, I would imagine. So, man, great run from you, my friend. Who do you want to thank for your drive to victory lane?
I got to thank Dirt Track Bank, Got Your Six Racing Network. Thanks for stepping up and doing this, Joe. Hammer Down Racing Team, you, Kurt, and Brian. VMR Wraps for making us look good. Extreme Images, Maley's Makery, Big C's Lawn Care. Roger and everyone, helping out with the league, putting it on, and everyone watching at home.
Yeah, man, there's your winner. The 31 of Brandon Templeton brings home a modified win. Congratulations, Brandon, and I'm sure I'll talk to you tomorrow. But for the rest of you, coming up next, we got the Veterans 360. So we will take a quick break, and when we come back, we will watch 360 sprint cars. The Veterans do battle right here at Lucas Oil Speedway.
I'm Chris Jackamick, and I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Throughout my military career, I spent the bulk of my career out in Las Vegas. It was the first job I had as I was protecting some sensitive resources out there at Nellis. I would deploy to Kuwait early on in my military career with a larger weaponry system to support Operation Southern Watch. And then from 2003 to 2006, I was part of the emerging drone mission for the United States Air Force and Department of Defense. We were fighting the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan from our backyard. You'd be in war for 12 hours of your shift, and then you'd drive home to your apartment here in Nevada. So psychologically, it was very odd. Like, you felt you were in the combat zone every day because you were seeing it on the screens and it was that important. But I don't know what it did to the human psyche at the time. Some things would kind of happen in my personal life after that would change a lot. When Adam joined the Marine Corps, it was a natural fit. Anybody who joins the military, especially after 9/11 happened, you're looking for that purpose. I think that's why he made the choice. It's like, let me go be a Marine. He was in between Fallujah and Ramadi during the heaviest parts of the fighting of the Iraq conflict. I mean, you hear guys like Jocko and everything talk about like the triangle of death. My brother was dead set in the middle of the triangle of death with a Marine unit. I think it changed him. Like, you look at everything across history, you read any of the books out there, war changes anybody that's been involved with it. Trauma or mass events like that changes anybody, and it really changed my brother. And I get that call. I get the text, actually, from my stepmom. It's like, I need you to call me as soon as possible. Something's wrong with Adam. All right. Didn't think anything of it. And I'm about to pull off the highway to go celebrate and have some pizza with my classmates, and she's like, Adam's dead. Adam's dead. He had died by suicide that day, 25th of July, 2017. And it changed my world forever.
I think that was the first time I saw or heard someone broken through the phone. There was a time where I was concerned that he wasn't going to make it. There were times I thought, we're going to have to camp out outside of his house, or we might get that phone call. Are we ready for that phone call?
I couldn't catch a break. A fellow first sergeant I served with, he had died by suicide. On the day of my buddy's funeral, I'm going through social media, and I see this, what appears to be a manifesto from one of my old airmen. My first thought was like, today's not going to be a good day. And sadly, my hunch was right. He had killed his own family and taken his own life on the day of my buddy's funeral. It was just compounding trauma after trauma after trauma. I cracked. I fell hard with alcohol. That was rock bottom. I've first heard about Mission 22 just by like surfing the internet and looking on there and seeing some of the programs that they had available. I was like, something seems right about this. To be in a program like the R&R program with them and the innovative things that they're putting together, I've not seen in any other veteran nonprofit. It's putting all this stuff together to heal in the most effective way possible. They're making you do a lot of the hard work through reading, through audiobooks, through physical fitness, through nutrition, open discussion, critical thinking, neuroplasticity and cognitive feedback to where you're developing the brain more. It's given me a chance to regain my life. Cycling's been a big part of my recovery. Is around the time I retired a little over a year ago, I set forth, I was like, let me set this goal to ride 2,020 miles in 2020 for another veteran nonprofit that supports Gold Star families and those lost either to accident or to suicide. Every time I got on that bike, I was like, you know what? There's a name, there's a dash that I'm gonna honor today. Not the dates on the gravestone. It's like, I'm gonna honor that life. So it gave me purpose. And it just became like a release for me to where the pedals would spin and I would get out of my head for a little bit. physically I was starting to feel better. I could see the improvements, and I've tracked my data over the past year, and it's phenomenal on the growth that I've had on a bike.
He's just on a mission and is relentless about it. You know, every day he pushes it. From, you know, the loss of his brother and a number of different trauma that he had gone through in his life, it was absolutely critical for him to find something that he could sink his teeth into. I think he's taken the ball and run with it with Mission 22, especially the R&R, the recovery and resilience part. I think it makes him stronger in the person that he is today.
I don't know why I fell on the bike. It was just like, okay, it called to me, and then I kept going. So you know that scene from Forrest Gump where he just starts running one day and it ends up in Monument Valley in Utah? He's like, I'm tired, I think I'll go home now. I'm not tired yet. I'm not ready to throw the towel in like Forrest Gump did. I'm getting on that bike and I'm keeping on going because there's something about it. There's something about just getting out in nature, having that breeze in your face and seeing some of the beautiful landscape here in Las Vegas, where it takes you away from the stressors and the challenges of the world for a little bit. And you can just appreciate the beauty that is out there and be in the moment. And then it got serious because the Air Force enrolled me in the Air Force Wounded Warrior program, and it got transformed into lo and behold training. If I do this well, maybe I can go represent the Air Force. Maybe my grief and everything in my entire story can come to fruition because I can put the energy into something positive. If I made the team, I'd just be overwhelmed with emotion. I suffered a lot of my trauma because of my military service, but at the end, it's like, I gotta be grateful that I'm allowed to compete in this because there are others who didn't make it home or lost the war at home that's what it's about.
Oh my gosh, everybody! I am so excited. My heart's pumping, my hands are sweaty. Please welcome our very own Director of the Air Force Wounded Warrior Program, Colonel Rich Obert. Over to you, sir.
Welcome, warriors and athletes. Today we're going to announce the 2021 Air Force Team for Warrior Games. The selection was difficult as there were many hardworking and deserving individuals, and the work and dedication was apparent by all. I know the suspense is killing you, so I'll turn it back over to Marcia. Good luck to each of you. Back to you, Marcia.
All right, thank you, sir. Starting us out from Air Education and Training Command, Major Daniel, Lieutenant Dan Cariña. Yes, yes, yes. Air Combat Command, out of Texas, Master Sergeant Nicole Nikki Favuza. From Valdosta, Georgia, Technical Sergeant retired Antonio Del Vecchio. From East Liberty, Ohio, Airman retired Pete Murphy. Technical Sergeant retired Margie Hinkle. And coming up next, former pole vaulter, that is very similar to Blaze Velarde, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada, Master Sergeant retired Chris Jacksomek. Warrior Games competitor back on the team, Staff Sergeant retired Joseph Alex Pate.
Whew.
What? He did
All right.
big things back in the day. He's gonna do big things. Coming to you from St. Henry.
Wow. We look at Mission 22 and we see all the shirts, we see all the flags out there. I don't think enough of the people understand how big the programs actually are and how that is actually in there. And like, I'm a benefactor from the donations of these private donors that are there to allow me to live life, to improve life for not only myself, but for friends, for fellow veterans, for my children, for my girlfriend, for my family, is to be that, to say, you know what? We can keep going at the end of the day. We can keep going, no matter how hard it gets. no matter how difficult life becomes, we can keep going.
We have this value in the Air Force, this belief, a wingman concept. We're gonna take care of each other. We've got each other. And it gives us hope, right? And so if you have been knocked down, I say this a lot, by the baseball bat of life, right? You're on the ground. If you know that someone's got you, it's got your six, no matter what, that's gonna help you get back up again. And that's part of Mission 22, I think, for him. That connection, that human connection, that's what's gonna save us. Yeah, that's what saved him. He can be a light in darkness. No matter how dark that spiral is, to know that someone got back up again and navigated their way out, that they can get through it too, that they are not alone. Not for one moment of one day. That's what he could be. He could be a beacon of light.
Yes, that's why. So we'll just give them a quick brush, and then we'll get our stuff on, and then we have like an obstacle course. And so
Why I'm smiling.
you don't know why you're smiling. We always smile. Smiling's the best.
The Mission 22 Equine Program is a riding program for children of veterans. We also serve grandchildren or direct family members of veterans.
It's a lot of fun, and I've always loved horses.
We have private lessons and group lessons, but it's not just riding. You know, riding lessons, people just think that that's all it is. But we have the opportunity here to really build confidence, to lower stress levels, to give them an outlet and opportunity to spend time doing something healthy and productive. Mission 22 is really based on the foundation of the importance for family. It's why we're supporting families here. So in a time where kids' programs are being canceled left and right, school is shut down, they're not able to be around their friends, you know, being able to have an opportunity where they can just be together and let go of that stress and be around people. Again, honestly, it's just really that simple, being around people. You know, who would have thought that it was something as simple as that?
That's okay. You want to grab his reins, and then I'll have you walk him forward. It's really a special thing to watch these kids come every week and build a partnership and a relationship with their horse. It lets them forget about everything that's going on in life, being able to come here, kind of shut the world out a little bit, and have a really stress-free, fun environment.
There's tons of studies that have been done on lowering of cortisol levels of children, and especially with children of veterans, often growing up in a household that can be a more stressful place, to be able to have an outlet where they can be outside, fresh air, horses around them, and just growing in that confidence.
Horses are really unique. They're very intuitive to people. They're very emotionally intelligent. They're very emotional animals, very in tune to people. They have a great way of reading people as well, that they can pick up on if you're feeling nervous or scared or excited. They're very reflective to how you feel. And so it's a great way to kind of check in with yourself and see how you're feeling, because they'll let you know.
When you're riding bareback, it's really important to think about keeping your thighs nice and snug.
Watch your spacing. Remember 1 to 2 horse lengths in between. Nice work. Yep, then you're going to go through the blue barrels, and you can weave through them, and you can walk through them.
Before we came to Central Oregon, we were based out of Portland. So we were renting an office in the city, we were having to pay to board horses, and it was getting to be exceptionally expensive. And so what it came down to was an opportunity to have a facility that we can grow programs out, that we could have the equine program on our own property, that we can continue to operate during a time that nobody really knew kind of what was happening next. And so having our own facility gave us the freedom to continue serving the families that we care about.
It's so fun to see parents come and talk to each other, and being able to kind of share stories, watch their kids together is a really neat thing. Talk about just life in general, having a place to come and to really connect with people. Obstacles.
I really like riding the horse because it's the best thing ever, and it's so exciting.
By supporting families of veterans on this property through the equine program, it really gives us the opportunity to show that importance. So we're not just supporting their kids, but we're supporting their families. They're having a community here, and building that strong family foundation builds a strong veteran. And that is something that we very much believe in, is supporting the family, supporting the veteran, and that cohesiveness together.